name's Charlie from eAgronom, and I'm going to give you a really quick overview of how you can use eAgronom to help plan, record, and analyze the work that you do on your farm. The first page that you'll see when you log on to your eAgronom is this paddocks page. This is the kind of main home base. You can see I have a really nice overview of my entire farm here. I'm growing 4 different crops, and I have them nicely split up by color, so it's really easy for me to see what's growing where. The way that a traditional season will go in eAgronom is you'll start with the crops page. Obviously, you need to decide what you're going to grow on each paddock. So we'll head over to the crops page here under the planning section. Crops page is really useful. You can see I have several seasons of data here, so it's really easy for me to make plans in terms of crop rotation. Based on the crops that I've grown in past years, I can really easily decide what I think fits for that particular paddock this season. You can see I have chosen my selections for this season already, and I've also chosen varieties that I want to grow. If I'm going to, I have the option also of including a catch crop and an undersow if that's something I plan on doing on my paddocks this season. Now that I've got my crops selected, it's time for me to add some tasks. I'm going to head over to the Add Tasks page here. You'll see that I have several tasks already done, but I'm going to add one real quick as a demo. So I have this barley paddock here selected. Click Add Tasks. Farmers do an absolute mountain of different tasks on their paddocks every year. So for the purposes of this, I'm just going to add a traditional spraying task. Click on this Add Details button, and I'm able to add whatever product that I want to use. I'm just going to pick a random product from the list here, add a little application rate there, and I am now ready. The task is to do. I'm not sure who's going to do it or when exactly it's going to be, so I'm just going to press review and leave it as it is for now. Tasks successfully created. We've come now to the Execute Tasks page here. You can see now that this Sydney paddock has one task that's not yet done. That's this one. These are other tasks that I've done and already marked as done. This is the task that I just added here. Now that I have added my tasks, I'm going to need products to complete them. So I'm going to head over to the inventory, and this is where I'm going to be able to keep track of all of the products that I have on hand and all of the transactions that go into building that inventory. I have really handy here, based on the date that I have selected here, I have exactly what I have in my stockpile on this particular date. I can see how much I have gained in this period and how much has gone out. That includes tasks or sales or anything like that, as well as how much that particular item is worth in my inventory based on the cost that I put in when I made the purchase. And then finally, when you have added all those tasks and kept track of your inventory, it's time at the end of the season to take stock and see how you've done. So I'm going to head over to this analysis page here, and let's take a look at how we did in terms of wheat. I can see really easily I've got the projected and the actuals here. I've got my yield, planned and actual, the price, how much I expected and how much I actually got, as well as the cost per hectare of all of the different things that I did on that paddock throughout, or on these wheat paddocks throughout, I should say. And then in addition, if I actually want to compare my paddocks themselves, click this View Paddocks button. I can see my wheat paddocks here. I'm going to add these to a comparison, and we'll come to this screen where I can see really easily how we did and compare. So for some reason, this paddock, Canberra, gave me a little bit less yield. I'm not sure why that is, and maybe I'll be able to figure out what happened based on the history, all of the tasks, all of the data that I put in throughout this season. And then finally, it gives me a really handy cost analysis. Because of that difference in yield, I have a slightly lower gross margin for Canberra than I had for Melbourne. That basically is how eAgronom gets used, and we hope that you'll find it useful.